What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and I'm very excited today to show you another piano video specifically talking about improvising on the keyboard. And this will assume that you're already familiar with some basic piano technique like chords, scales, inversions, like arpeggios, that type of thing. But if you are interested in knowing a little bit more about those and understanding the music theory behind them, I do want to give you my free guide called Playing with Confidence. So this is basically a guide that will just go over those like really fundamental techniques like scales, chords, arpeggios, etc., and walk you through what you need to know about them and how to apply them to the keyboard in order to start playing piano with a little more confidence and playing more smoothly. So if you are interested, it's in the description box below, so you can definitely click on that to get access right away. And I just want to give you a friendly reminder that my brand new course, Piano Skills for Composers and Songwriters, is closing tonight at midnight EST. And basically, it's like my all-comprehensive approach in how to start as a very beginner and go all the way to improvising on the piano with confidence and ease. So we go through like basic fundamental techniques, how to play by ear, learn chords, arpeggios, all of that stuff to really get the muscle memory in lock, and then finally applying that to improvising and taking it step by step. So it really is a comprehensive approach. If you are interested, I would definitely check it out. But if not, no worries. I just want to throw it out there before it closes, and I want to give you that reminder. But let's jump into the video today. So how do we actually improvise on the piano? Well, I've kind of like a little step-by-step method that I can share with you to do that. So the first thing we need to know is what kind of key or what scale do we want to be playing in? And this will kind of determine like the vibe that you're going for, the overall tonal center, right? So let's say you want to go with something a little sadder. Most likely you're going to be starting to improvise in a minor key. And having a good command of your minor scales and your minor chords is obviously a very good thing to have. Whether you know your natural minor scales or also your harmonic minor scale or your melodic minor scale, those are all good things to know, especially for classical pianists and classical music. But if you just know your natural minor scale and your harmonic minor scale, where you raise the seventh note up a semitone, that will already cover like 90% of your bases there. So let's say I've basically decided that I want to be playing in A minor because I'm going for a slightly more somber and sad mood, right? That leads me into step number 2, and that is to kind of determine the genre or the style that I'm going for. Do I want it to be more of an up-tempo thing, like a little faster? Or do I want it to be a little slower and more calm? Right? So that will kind of determine how you start to improvise and what type of mood you want to go for. Do you want it to be more up-tempo? Do you want it to be more exciting? Or do you want it to be a little more simple and laid back? So that's going to be something you want to determine as well after you determine the tonic center, the tonal center and the key that you're going to be playing in. So those are the absolute like fundamental techniques you want to establish first. Now, the third thing that can't be overstated enough is the time signature or the meter. So how do you want the music to feel? Do you want to hear it in 4s? Do you want to hear it in 3s? Do you want it in a hybrid meter like 5/4 or 7/4, like 7 beats in a bar, or 9 beats in a bar? Most likely you're going to be playing in either 4/4 or 3/4. For most simple film music, classical music, a lot of it is in a simple meter of 4/4 or 3/4. So that being like 4/4 would be something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whereas 3/4 would be something like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you can kind of decide on that type of meter, but after you establish your key, like the scale you want to go for, and then also the mood or the style, do you want it to be fast or slow, or that type of thing, then you also want to determine the time signature or the meter you want to follow. So that already gives you a really nice foundation, right? Then finally, the fourth and final thing I want to mention is the left hand type of accompaniment. Do you want it to just be like like solid triads, or do you want it to be kind of like broken apart, like arpeggiated in a way? Do you want to do it in closed position, like closed voicings, or do you want to extend it to more open voicings? And how do you want the right hand to interact with that as well? Do you want the right hand just to play the melody note? Or do you want the right hand to also play some harmony notes? those are the decisions you want to make. How are the hands going to interact and play together? So let's say if I'm going through my 4-step checklist, I know in the first step, I want to play in A minor. Step 2, what style do I want? I want something a little slower. Step 3, I want a 4/4 time signature, like more like 4 beats in a bar rather than 3. Then in the 4th step, I'm also going to determine how I want my left hand to play and interact with the right hand. So I decided that because I want maybe more of a ballad type of thing and I'm a piano solo, I want to spread out the voicing a little more so I have more options here. So that means probably the left hand can do some arpeggiation like this, maybe some little crossovers here and there. Maybe I'll play some inversions, you know? And then the right hand can start making up a melody if I want to, so. Right, so that's just a very basic example of how I would improvise if I was to check all those 4 boxes. But I hope that kind of makes sense. It's a very easy thing to grasp, I think, because you're literally thinking in these steps, right? So determine your key, determine your style, determine your time signature or your meter, and finally determine how you want those hands to interact. And again, this does assume a certain level of technique. So you should already be familiar with your chords. You should know how to play scales. You should know how to arpeggiate them, and you should understand where the fingers go and how to play certain inversions and how to move the hands in a very efficient way. So if you are interested in that type of thing, piano skills for composers and songwriters is the course for you. You know, if you are interested in improving and getting your skills up to scratch, then I'm more than happy to see you inside. I'd be very excited to help you on your piano journey. If you do have any questions about it, please feel free to leave it as a comment below, or you can send me an email privately. And again, if you want to dive into just the fundamental techniques and understand how the best piano players grasp these fundamental things, then I want to give you my free guide called Playing with Confidence. So once you get this and you start following it and practicing those steps accordingly, I have no doubt, I personally guarantee that you'll start to improve. But it's just a matter of sitting down and applying those correct steps. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.